Have you ever seen one of those insane physical transformations online and just thought, how? Like, what's the actual system? Not the hype, not the supplements they're selling, but the real day in, day out blueprint. Well, that's exactly what we're breaking down today. We're going to pull back the curtain and look at the actual architectural plan for building a stronger, more defined you.
And this whole blueprint, it comes from the experience of Jhavaun Blake. So this isn't some theory from a textbook. It's a battle-tested system, forged in the gym. And this quote, it really sets the stage perfectly. We're not talking about quick fixes here. We're talking about a process, a repeatable process, that's built on principles that just flat out work.
So let's just forget the before and after photos for a minute. We're going deep into the how, the actual repeatable system that you could potentially use. We're getting past the shiny results to really deconstruct the framework itself. And it all really boils down to these three things, the three pillars. Think of them like a tripod, right? You've got the training, the fuel, and the mindset. If any one of those legs is weak or wobbly, the whole thing just collapses. They've got to work together, in sync.
So let's start with the base of that tripod, the training. This is the hands-on part. This is where the hard work happens, the physical stimulus that actually forces your body to adapt and change. Now, this isn't about just walking into a gym and throwing weights around randomly. No, there's a real method to the madness, and it's built on these four core ideas that all work together to create, predictable results. Think about your body like you're building a house. You wouldn't start by picking out the curtains, right? No. You'd pour a massive, solid concrete foundation. Well, that's what compound lifts are. They're the big, heavy-duty movements like squats and deadlifts that build a raw strength and size that everything else gets built on top of.
Okay, now this right here, this is the engine of all progress. Seriously, it's kind of like leveling up in a video game. You can't just keep fighting the same level 1 monsters and expect to get stronger. You have to constantly seek out a bigger challenge, adding a little more weight, one more rep. You're telling your body, hey, you need to get stronger. Without that signal, your body has absolutely no reason to change.
And here's a super crucial point. It's all about quality over quantity. Imagine you're doing a bicep curl. Instead of just yanking the weight up, you're thinking about your bicep. You're feeling it squeeze on the way up and feeling it stretch on the way down. That's the mind-muscle connection. And that's the difference between just moving weight and actually building and shaping a muscle.
And finally, you gotta have a plan. A push-pull leg split is just a simple but brutally effective way to make sure you're hitting every muscle group consistently without burning out. It's your roadmap. It keeps you on track and lets you measure your progress week after week.
But look, all that grinding in the gym is pretty much useless if you don't give your body the right building materials. And that's where our second pillar, the fuel, comes into play. This is all about what you're doing in the other 23 hours of the day.
I love this quote because it just nails it. It's so true. You can do 1,000 sit-ups, but if your diet is a mess, you're never going to see those abs. But it goes deeper than that. It's not just about looking good. It's about having the energy to actually perform in the gym in the first place.
So, the whole nutrition strategy kicks off with one simple, really powerful rule. Protein comes first. The magic number to aim for is about 1 gram of protein for every pound you weigh, every single day. This is the non-negotiable building block for repairing and growing muscle, coming from things like chicken, fish, steak, and whey protein.
Now, what's really cool is how simple this next part is. It really just comes down to basic math. Do you want to get bigger and build muscle? You need a calories surplus. You have to eat more calories than your body burns. Want to get leaner and show off that muscle? You need a calorie deficit. You eat fewer calories. It's really that fundamental.
And hey, let's just clear the air on this one. Carbs are not the bad guy. In this blueprint, they're treated as high-octane fuel for your workouts. We're talking rice, oats, potatoes, all essential stuff. The trick isn't to cut them out entirely. It's to control your portions and use them to power your training.
So we've covered the training and we've covered the fuel, but there's one more piece to this puzzle. And it's probably the most important one of all. Let's dive into the mindset.
Man, this quote is everything. Because we've all been there, haven't we? You get super fired up for a week, maybe 2, and then life happens. Motivation, it comes and goes. Discipline is what you do when the motivation is gone. It's the engine, not the spark. So the biggest mental shift you have to make is going from waiting for motivation to just relying on discipline. It's about showing up when you really don't feel like it. It's about understanding that progress isn't a straight line. There will be plateaus, and you have to be patient. It's about doing it for yourself, not for likes on social media.
And this
This is the real gut check question, isn't it? It boils everything down to one thing. What are you doing when nobody's watching? The real work, the stuff that actually makes a difference, it happens in those quiet moments. That early morning alarm, prepping your meals on a Sunday night, when there's no audience. That's the game changer.
Okay, so we've looked at each pillar one by one. The training, the fuel, the mindset. Now, let's zoom out and see how they all lock together to become one single powerful system.
So here it is, the whole game plan in a nutshell. 1. Train smart, using principles that actually work. 2. Eat with intention, fueling your body for what you want it to do. And 3. Lock in your mindset. Build that discipline for the long haul. That's it.
And here's the most important thing to remember. These 3 pillars are not a buffet where you can pick and choose. They're interconnected. You can have the world's best workout plan, but if your nutrition is trash, you won't grow. You can have both of those dialed in, but if you lack discipline, you won't last more than a month. They all have to be working together.
So, as we wrap this up, I want you to just take a second and think about it for yourself. This blueprint combines action, fuel, and psychology. Which one of those 3 pillars is your weak link right now? Be honest with yourself, because once you know where the weakness is, you can start to strengthen it. And that's when the real transformation can begin.